Welcome back again to our 8th session. This session is relating to drug addictions and PS office. So I hearty welcome all the WCOP patrons and chief patrons, Professor Ganeshan sir, Professor J.V. Lakshman sir, B.G. Reddy sir, Subhashni sir, and Ashok sir, and Suresh sir. And I also welcome our chief guest, Professor M. Bhaskar sir, and Sri K.V. Ramana garu, especially invitee for this session. A hearty welcome and beloved participants. A hearty welcome to you all again. May I request now B.G. Reddy sir to take lead the session, initiate the session.
Yeah, good evening to all eminent personalities who are with us. Professor Vedagiri Ganeshan sir, and though he is not a professor, he is more than a professor. Another patron, J.V. Lakshman Rao sir, and another today's chief guest, my colleague, erstwhile colleague in Venkateswara University. He he was in different positions, and he was still continuing extending his own services to WCOP, earlier Superannuated Psychology Society of India, earlier Inspire Professional Psychology Society of India, earlier Indian Academy of Psychologists. He was consistently extending his noble services towards the psychology organizations. That is Professor M. Bhaskar sir. I am wholeheartedly welcoming you, sir. And other special invitee, who is an eminent man in NGO since 30 to 40 years. I know him. He was extending a noble service to the community. That is none other than our Ramana is with us. Sir, I am inviting you, sir. And today's topic discussed in the beginning of first session or second session regarding drug addictions related to alcohol and ganja and other aspects. But today, the drug addictions which we are concentrating and discussing by our beloved eminent trainer sir, Ganeshan sir, that is related to pharmaceutical items. So don't get confused with the first one and today's one. Now, I think our expert Ganeshan sir is there, and our chief guest is there, special invitee is there, and another executive committee members and another patron J.V. Lakshman Rao sir is there, and another our beloved participants are there. So I don't want to take much of the time of today's session. Now I am hand over in the mic to our repertoire, Rama Devi.
Thank you, sir. So may I take the privilege to invite our chief guest, Dr. M. Bhaskar garu. He is a former rector and UGC BSR faculty fellow. His main aim, Ganeshan sir.
Okay.
I request you to lead the session, sir.
Good evening, Professor P.V. Ramamurthy garu, Professor R.N. Singh, and Professor Govinda Reddy garu, Professor Krishnamurthy garu, Sri K.V. Ramana, Professor Ashok, and Professor Bhaskar garu, and Professor Ashok, and Srimati Rama Devi. Good evening to everybody and dear participants. Today's topic is drug addiction with specific reference to pharmaceutical preparations. Earlier, we have dealt with smoking and drinking alcohol, and today it is in relevance to pharmaceutical materials which are available sometimes to doctors like pethidine. And across the counter, it is available in medical shops as painkillers. And they are taken as a tablet or sniffed with as a powder and taken as injection. There are so many ways in which it is being used. So we have to go to the root cause of these addictions, including alcohol. But now we are going to discuss about these things. Once they become addicted to these chemicals, it is very difficult to recover their life. Why? Because they are dejected with their parents in the first place. And with regard to their future, they are highly frustrated, for which they may be responsible, but they think they are not responsible. Okay, the country has not given an opportunity, parents have not given the opportunity, the educational system here is a failure. Or in other words, they put the blame on others and they don't feel responsible for their behavior. This is the basic thing. And they have a light from reality. Light from reality itself shows that they are living in a world of imagination, world of fantasy, and they feel so good because the reality is very hard to face. So this is one of the major problems of the drug addicts in general. Now, how to handle these cases? They are revolting against the parents, against the society. So one of the exercise which can be given to them along with their parents is to engage in a game of disobedience. This disobedience game is very simple, interesting, and funny. What we do is we ask the parents also to participate because they are the major targets of attack by these drug addicts. So they form a team, father, mother, and the son, or father, mother, and the daughter. Okay. Or in case they have brothers or sisters, they will also become a group. What is done is the father will say one command, ask the wife to do something, or the mother will say something to be done by the client, and the client will say something to others. And the therapist also joins this gang. So it's a circular game. Now, when the person is asked to do something, clap, for example, the other person can do anything other than clapping. They can nod their head, wink the eye, okay, or make a noise, or simply stand or sit, or do whatever, but not clap. So it's a game of disobedience because the whole behavior of drug addiction is disobedience from what is already set by the society or the family, like that. So they enjoy it. So what we do is we make them to disobey this game. It goes for half an hour. Okay. And because you push them along the way in which they want to travel and then later bring them back. Okay. So it will be funny. And the client also will laugh. The parents will also laugh because now they have to think of some other alternate than sit or stand or clap or smile, because they should not follow the command by anybody who is sitting. Okay, it will be rotated clockwise first and then anti-clockwise next. Okay. Now this goes for half an hour. People will take time to disobey because their mind is generally set to follow the command, but they want to disobey. If they want to disobey, they have to become creative to think of something else other than clapping or winking. Okay, so they do it. Then after half an hour, the game of obedience starts. Simply stand means they can stand. So when they do like that, they have a feeling that they have control over others' behavior. Okay, instead of asking them to obey, they will have control over others' behavior. Others start obeying their command. It will go clockwise and anti-clockwise, in which the client will be commanding the parents also. And now they understand, the client understands, it is easier to obey than to disobey. Disobedience, it may be, they may like it, but now they find obeying is easier, whereas disobeying is little complex because they have to avoid the particular behavior which is asked to be done by the person. Now they have to think of something else. Okay? That makes the more blood to rush to the right brain, which is a creative brain. Okay? They have to become imaginative, to strike something else other than what is being told. Then later they find obedience is an easier thing. Disobedience is a challenging thing. Okay? So this will make them to move away from disobedience, revolt, revenge on the parents and the society. I mean, this is the way the technique works. Okay. Now, any question or observation, you are welcome about this technique.
Sir, Professor Ganeshan, sir,
Yes,
our
please.
special invitee,
Yes.
just now he joined kindly. We'll
Okay.
permit him to speak, sir.
Yeah, please, please, welcome.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Ramana garu, you can speak,
Sir.
sir.
Yes,
Sir,
please.
sir,
Yeah.
sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thanks
Good
to
evening,
Mr. Professor B.J. Reddy Garu, President World Congress of.
I have a question regarding Ganeshan sir. I have a question regarding these commands. So the people has to sit in a circular thing, or they can sit anywhere. But one person commands, like father commands to clap but not smile. Suppose. So the person has to do that, and the next person who is sitting, I mean, the command, if the command is given to the father by mother, so the father has to give another command to the child, right?
Yes.
So every time the command is different.
Yes.
So, and it has to move clockwise and anti-clockwise, and again the same thing with the game of obedience. That means what they say, they have to do it. Is that
Yes. Yes.
okay, sir? Because I lost the thread somewhere. That's why. Thank you, sir.
It will be a funny experience. It actually diffuses the seriousness of the whole family. The client also will enjoy it.
Okay, sir. But sir, I have a general question. So how can we, I mean, like, because of the parents rejected or anyone, they get into drugs or anything. But how can we guide our the children to not get into those habits?
Preventive aspect.
Yes, sir. Preventive aspect.
No, whether it is preventive or curative, the major problem is upbringing of the children. Parents sometimes they are unable to spend time with the children. Quality time is not given. It's also an occupational hazard, like the police people, the defense people, because they are supposed to work round the clock. Sometimes businessmen also get involved in business all the time, and they are unable to spare time with the children. For example, if you recall the film Bobby, the
Yes, sir.
father was unable to spend time. Or if you look at Thangapadakam in Tamil, which should have come in Telugu also, Shivaji Ganesan, very sincere police officer, but he could not spare time to be with the family. Quality time is not given to the child, and the child is enslaved by outside negative forces like terrorists, okay, like traitors, etc. Same thing happened with Salim, the son of the great Akbar. Akbar was a very powerful ruler, etc. warrior. He was not able to spend quality time with his only son, Salim. Okay, and Salim has become a revolt. Okay, and then engages in a romantic affair, and then he has a collision with Akbar. Okay, the invincible. Only Akbar goes and arrests the son in a war. The son wages a war against the father. So there is an antagonism, disobedience, discontinuity, all these things are there.
Excuse me, can you please mute?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
okay. So that is the problem. So the central thread in treating these people is you should help the parents even at present to fulfill the emotional needs of the client, the addict. Okay, I have treated some IAS officers also. Okay, one lady IAS officer was having problem with her daughter, and then I simply suggested the daughter to lie on the lap of the mother. The mother has forgotten to play the role of a mother to the daughter, and the daughter was going crazy. It may not be drug addiction. They can become mentally ill. They may misbehave. Okay. For everything, it is, see, it would have happened as the child grew up. But now what is to be done? That's why I say the behavior therapy is like a plastic surgery. Whatever is gone is gone. We should not go back to diagnose what happened in the childhood and all. Forget it. Right now, the mother and the daughter should unite together, and the child has been missing the touch of the mother, what you call as the hunger for touch, deprivation of touch. Okay. So I would have asked the daughter, who is about 23 years old, MPhil in a science subject. The mother is an IAS officer, commissioner of some department. I asked the daughter to lie down on the lap of the mother, and both the mother and daughter stopped crying. Okay. Then they have come down. So we should not think we cannot correct the past. The past can be corrected. Present is considered. Present can be corrected. What the child needs, okay, whatever be the age, touch and hug of the significant other, who is the mother or the mother. If it is done, things become out. Okay. This is not pertaining to addictions only. Any mental illness, this is the thing, because there is a craving for love and affection, and they feel that they have missed it because of frustration, they become aggressive and they start hurting themselves. And in the process, they want to hurt the parent. It's a revenge. So there is a saying in Tamil which says, even if I lose both my eyes, at least the enemy should lose one eye at least. Okay? It's a foolish thing. It may be there in any other language also. Okay? I want to hurt my enemy to lose at least one eye, even if I lose both my eyes. They are irrational, foolish, but when people go mad, are targeting something which is unrealistic and self-damaging also. And drug addiction is also a slow suicide. And in the process, they want to hurt the parents first, spoil their image in the society. Okay. But the only solution is to bring the emotional gap between the parents and the child, the daughter or son. This happens to people who are parents who are too sincere, too busy in their profession, but unable to spare quality time. So at least from the present, they should spare quality time with the child. So the child, when it does this obedience game, then it understands, it can command the behavior of the parents. And the child also obeys. But to make them to disobey, that is quite exciting for both the parties. And it strikes a laughter. Okay. The person is asked to clap and the person starts blinking. So it is funny. Okay. But next time when they say clap, the other person claps. So it is easier to clap than to think of anything else like standing up or jumping or dancing or nodding the head, which triggers their creativity. Creativity, when it is triggered, they become problem solvers. Otherwise, they are not solving the problem. They are complicating the problem for themselves and for the parents and for the society. Okay. So this is a very effective game technique which can be used.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, I also heard that some children are very much addictive to the smell of the erasers.
Smell on?
Erasers, the pencil erasers. They keep
Yeah.
on doing the smell of erasers.
Yeah, because it gives a smell. The pencil, when it's screwed, it gives a smell of the wood.
No, sir, eraser, not just pencil, eraser.
The eraser, some children eat also.
Yes,
They
sir.
eat this, okay. So what is required is, if you want a solution for such things, you cannot ask them to overdose. But what you can do is avoid that behavior. Avoiding a behavior, they can get whatever they want. It's a reinforcement technique. You don't smell or eat the eraser, okay, because it is a nice smell. If you provide an alternative, they will not do it. If you give them bubble gum, okay, then they will start mewing, munching that, okay. Some diversional technique has to be also used, because the nylon rubber emits the smell and the taste. Okay, bubble gum is better, sweeter, okay, and things like that. So you can ask them to try that. Whenever they have the temptation to smell or chew the gum, they can take it, the chewing. The formula is divert them, which will lead to some pleasant experience. Then to say, don't do it. So instead of saying don't do it, ask them to do it, which is more pleasure. That can be done.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Participants, you have any questions, please, you can put forward. Any questions from participants?
Hi, sir. This is Minosha. So I understood the technique of obedience and then disobedience and then obedience. So later for a drug addict, so he would understand that obedience would be in an easier way. But how this is gonna trigger him that, okay, I should not get addicted to something.
Because the whole mechanism which the client uses is revolt, revenge and revolt. They are quite agitated. Now when they do this, they start relaxing. Okay, they feel funny. It's an antidote to seriousness. It makes them feel not so serious. They become playful, both the parents. And also, we have to ask the parents to give love and affection. As I told, the client will lie on the lap of the father or mother, and also the mother or the father will lie on the lap of the client. The touch, it is known as the touch therapy. Massage the head, pat on the back, hold the hands. Okay, the touch itself solves many problems. Okay. And ultimately, you can make them to laugh together. The whole family will start laughing. That diffuses the seriousness of the situation. The revengefulness dissipates. Laughter is also one technique. The whole family starts laughing along. Okay. Not for just 1 minute, 2 minutes. They will laugh for half an hour. It goes up and down like that. Then that diffuses the seriousness, revengefulness, everything. Okay. And the client understands the foolishness of trying to destroy oneself. Okay. The life, the career, and also the health, they will be spoiled. But they think, by killing myself, I will make my parents to cry. This is a useless behavior. It's not full. It's not a win-win situation. Okay. So you have to pull them out. But what I suggest is in all the behavior technology, you don't talk too much. You make them to think and imagine and come up. So these are the techniques which will diffuse the revengeful attitude of the client. It is actually befriending the relationship between the client and the parent. Okay, in case they have got siblings, they can be also involved, 4 or 5 people together. And the therapist will also join the game. Okay. I enjoy doing like that.
Sir, this should be a one-time activity or it can be repeated multiple times.
It can be repeated on 2-3 days. They get used to that. Okay. 2-3 days it can be done, but a client should be admitted and treated for no time is invested, very good result will come. It is not an OP case, it is an admission, IP, inpatient. Okay, so the therapist should also spare time. That's why I say it is like a surgical procedure. It's not like a medical where you prescribe and treat and they go and start taking the medicine. But you have to spend time. The surgeon spends time with the client to save them from the problem, like that. Whereas medicine cannot do that. Because the very involvement of the therapist itself will bring about a change in the client's behavior.
Hello.
Yes.
I have to seek very humbly the clarification about the influence of extracurricular activities.
Yes. Yes.
On the children.
Yeah.
Group participation, organizing games, debates, music competitions, and like NCC activities, all that. When you keep them engaged in all these extracurricular activities, other than their academic program, will there be any significant improvements in their behavior?
Yes. Definitely, it will contribute to the recovery of the person. Because the person would have already isolated.
Yeah.
Okay. So as a preventive method, games, okay, and recreation, like that. But
they are encouraged to be among all the other normal children.
Yes.
So that they feel confident of active participation.
Yes.
And it can be organized even by the parents or the well-wishers or the teachers or any other organizers concerned with the psychometry and all that, sir.
I would like to comment on Kunatho Vedigaru's comment. All the things it is done, they would not have become drug addicts. After they become drug addicts only, what is to be done, I am discussing. And what Kunatho Vedigaru is telling is preventive, which is very good. Okay, it can be done.
So most of the problems can be resolved that way by undertaking preventive measures.
And the schools and colleges should make the students to engage in extracurricular activities, and the major here is they will get appreciation. Okay.
Excuse me, I also sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Please.
I also feel the trainers are to be trained before addressing the issues.
Yes, that is true.
What is happening is, in fact, let me share my own experience when I was an undergraduate student.
Okay.
One of the teachers, he had a biased view on some consideration or other.
Okay.
And he told me directly on my face that your record writing and drawing figures and then preparation of exercises are extremely good.
Yes.
But however, I have a bad impression on you. This is the
Oh.
rider he attached while appreciating my record.
I see, yeah.
So what happens is that is still there in my mind, ringing.
Yes.
So that biased view is because of some kind of we have some isms, no, the caste or religion or region or gender or whatever it is. They are afflicting the society.
Yeah. What I would say,
So that way, how can a teacher, in fact, let me also tell you, there was an identification examination in the practical examination. When I identified correctly the specimens afflicted by the plant pathogens, then the teacher came to me secretly and tried to mislead me that what identification I did was wrong. Unfortunately, I stuck to my own knowledge and stuck to that, and they were true identification. He wanted to mislead me so that I get less mark.
Yeah.
This is very, very unfortunate, unbecoming and uncharitable, you know. The teachers indulging in that type of activity. So that's why I strongly feel the trainers, the so-called elders, will have to be very much trained, and they should be brainwashed not to succumb to this type of narrow mindedness and spoiling the children.
Yes. Sure.
I'm sorry, I just gone a little off way in presenting this unpleasant news.
I totally agree with you because it has caused a lot of damage to your mind.
Yeah.
And we have discussed these things in the school counselors program, training program. But
exactly.
would tell the teacher, if you can meet the teacher, even if he's retired, please tell him first criticize, then appreciate. What he has done, okay, he has appreciated and finally criticized. What he should do is criticize first. I don't like you, okay, I don't like your face.
Yeah.
I don't like your looks, but you are a brilliant student. You are very sincere. You are punctual. If he says like that, you thank him. You would not bother about your face or appearance. But what he has done, he has told that he has given the golden stamps first and given a gray stamp at the end. Now you remember only the gray stamp. But if people are affected like you are, okay, at this age, what I would suggest is look at the same scene, imagine, recollect, and start laughing aloud.
Yeah.
That means he was a fool of an ass who has hurt you. And you need not forgive him. You can laugh at him. Recollect the same incident and start laughing. Okay? And you will be able to forgive him. Otherwise, you cannot forgive him. That's the problem. Okay? We have given all these things in the school counseling program.
Yeah.
But we are given. Okay?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes. Can I ask?
Yes, Durga Bhavani.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. A boy, 16 years old, he is addicted to cool drinks, sir, which is thumbs up. So, how to, is it related to any parental care is missing in his case, or how to avoid that?
Actually, some of these things themselves, they have got an addictive value, like tea or coffee or Coke. They have got their own addictive value. But one thing I will say, ask the parents to spend quality time with the child. That's the first behavioral prescription. Second is, if they take Coke, ask them to take something else followed by that, which they like. Maybe a Coke and an ice cream, which is safer. Okay. Then you are not telling the fellow stop it. When you say stop it, they cannot stop. But you say take it, then followed by something which is enjoyable for you. You can take chips if you like chips, Coke and chips, because then you will come away from Coke. Otherwise, you will take only Coke, Torino, etc.
Yes.
one Coke followed by chips or ice cream or chocolate or whatever. Okay. Then you will be able to break the habit of the cold drinks.
Cold drinks. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Good evening, sir. Can I ask a, not a question, it is a solution I am seeking from you. I know a person who was addicted to drinks. So to wean him from the drinking, the parents pushed him to take some other things, and he has finally landed into cough syrup. And totally became dependent on the cough syrup, and finally he was to admitted to the rehabilitation center. There also he could not get over when he came back, and finally he steadily he used to drink as an adult. At the one stage, he has become so dependent on the so-called cough syrup. Finally, he died because of his addiction to the cough syrup. That is the problem. Their parents could not do it. Rehabilitation was not able to help. The boy died at the age of 40.
Okay.
How we could have solved that problem?
No, has the person been alive? What I would suggest is, take whatever you want to take, cough syrup or alcohol or whatever. Follow it with some physical activity, like running in the same place or go for a run. If you agree,
Ganesh,
we will be able to improve
Yes, sir.
So, take whatever you want, follow it with some physical activity like slow walking or fast walking. Okay, some physical activity. Because physical activity releases certain hormones which lead to relaxation.
Ganeshan sir, your voice is not clear.
Okay.
So much buzz sound.
My mic is on, no problem. Are you able to hear my voice?
Sir, just a little bit loud, sir. Come to the mic, closer to the mic.
Okay. I will do that.
Lakshmana sir, you can mute for a little while, sir, because the buzz sound is coming from your speaker.
Okay. Now, what is important is, if the physical activity is engaged after an addictive behavior, the body produces hormones which are relaxing. Otherwise, the person will be under tension and arousal and go on taking, because the person wants to relax. Okay. So the alternate way to relax is not to have cough syrup or drink or whatever. After a drink, start walking. Suppose somebody is addicted to food, more and more food. Take food, go for a small walk, come back. This has to be administered by the therapist. If you prescribe, they won't do it. That is why I say admit and treat, and you have the person under your control so that you can see that it is done. If it is done, it will work. Like in the ICU, because people closely watch and treat. So that is what I would suggest.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Because it did not occur to the parents or the therapists to do that sort of a thing. He used to avoid everybody meeting, and also he lost a couple of jobs because of this habit. And unfortunately, he became a loner, and it's that loneliness and all the final the addiction to cough syrup, he had to die.
Complicate the marital life also of the person, because he is psychotic person. Marital life would have been also affected. So what I suggest is, any behavior you want to avoid, ask them to follow it with a relaxing type of behavior. Okay. Otherwise, they would like to keep up their physiological arousal by drinking or smoking more and more and more. It will be broken.
That urge will be there always in them, perhaps. The urge.
Yes, yes. The therapist has to invest time and use the techniques.
This happened about 5 years back, sir. It passed away 5 years back at the age of 40, 45.
Okay. Very unfortunate.
Good evening, sir. One woman, 39 years old,
Okay.
she has a problem. When she saw another man, in her dreams they appear.
Okay.
For that she feels guilty, and she become depressed. How can deal that case?
Okay. Now
Whenever she see another woman, another man, she feels they like agitated, and it is not correct way. If they do anything wrong with her, like that she feels, and in her dreams also their faces appear. So instead of her husband, another man faces appear in her dreams. So for that she feels very guilty. And how to deal this case?
Okay. Now, Sita,
Yes, sir.
is she married? Married, isn't it?
I'm married, sir.
Married, having children?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
10th class girl and 8th class boy.
Okay. If somebody is appearing in the dream, that person is not appearing. Only her brain is projecting. Okay. Her brain is only projecting. Okay. The devil is not outside, the devil is inside. So what I would suggest is, whenever that person appears, okay, if it is in the waking life, ask her to scold that person. Call the person by name and scold. And ask her to hit in the air. Okay. Punch in the air. Okay. Calling him, you bloody fool or idiot. Or whatever abusive word you use, and then hit in the air, thinking as if the person is there. Because her brain wants the person, at the same time, she feels guilty. Okay.
Is it an imagination, sir?
If she doesn't want the person, ask her to scold and hit. Then the person will not come. The person is played by her own brain. Okay. She has to counteract. Antidote is aggression, scolding, allowed.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. That will solve the problem. And if she is sleeping and he comes in the dream, ask her to get up and take more water to the level of satiation. Then there will be hormonal balance and she will not have any difficulty.
Because of this problem, she avoided to come out home, sir.
Another suggestion is, ask her to spend more time with the husband, or the husband has to spend more time with her. Okay?
Okay.
And ask her husband to engage in foreplay.
Okay.
The touch and the hug. Okay. Maybe it is lacking. That's what I guess. You suggest to the husband. Or ask her to tell the husband.
Yes, sir.
She has to say, I like the foreplay. Then he will do it.
Okay. Okay, sir. One more doubt, sir.
Yes.
One almost 30 years old man. When he's speaking and or when he listening any conversation, suddenly his mind blanks.
Okay.
Immediately he focus on another issue.
Okay.
How can he deals it?
No, he is not able to concentrate.
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
it? His problem is a lack of concentration and more of diversion.
Diversions immediately in the conversation, what they said, he missing.
Okay.
So many times.
Okay.
That is the problem.
Okay. Is it Rama who is asking or who is asking the question?
Sita, sir.
Sita is only asking. Okay, okay, Sita. What you do, Sita, what you can do, ask the person to keep a lamp or a candle and look
Okay.
into the flame. Keep it 4 feet away, in line with his eyes. Okay. Ask him to look at it without winking for half an hour, and tears will come out of the eyes, so he can wipe it. That improves the concentration.
Okay.
Okay. Eyes are supposed to be the extension of the brain. This can be given to school children, college students, or anybody who has a distraction. So the brain will start concentrating. It is known as, in Vedic tradition, it is known as a Trataka. The name is a Trataka. You can talk to any yoga teacher. Okay. The procedure is like this: keep a lamp or a candle and look into the flame, which is 4 feet away. Okay, without winking, and the winking takes place to moisture the eyes. So if you stop the winking, eyes will water. So ask the person to wipe. Otherwise, if tears are not coming, that means he is not staring. He has to stare, not wink all the time. So ask him to repeat it for a day or two, at least 3 days. Look at the flame, then concentration will come.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Sir, sir, is it not a symptom of dementia?
No, I will not go to any label. Okay, so far there are not so many labels. I will deal with it as a specific behavior. If you solve the behavior problem, things become all right. That's all. If you give a name, then they will be afraid, and people will also think it cannot be changed. So let us not label it. Specific behavior, we can solve it. And dementia also involves so many other things also. So take one by one and tick it off. That's my suggestion.
Thank you very much, sir. Because sometimes people start laughing at him and then treat him as a madman. That is also possible in such cases.
Okay. No, whatever is a specific behavior, if it is defined and told, we can solve that behavior. That's all. They may have half a dozen behaviors. You can delete one by one.
No, this solution sounds very good, sir. Your solution to the treating such persons sounds so very apt for me. Instead of putting him under drugs and all that, this solution, making him to concentrate on the subject that he is speaking rather than get diverted.
Yeah, that's right.
So he says, my friend's wife is using chantic Vedic switch words with quotes and also writing with sketch pens on her children, husband, and her own body to get betterment in physical illness, getting jobs, reaching unrealistic goals, and even on things like fridge, water bottle, laptop, washing machine for functioning well. It's too much habit with her husband saying that it can be harmful to kids and husband as well. So what can be done in that situation? So
Can you
she's
again,
using,
please rephrase your question?
okay, I mean his friend's wife is using some chantic Vedic words, sir. She's writing everything like for on husband hands or children hands for better physical illness and for getting jobs. So that means she is using all the chanting words on the fridge, water bottles, and everything so that they function better.
Okay.
So, and it has become such a habit that it is really disturbing their family. So
Okay.
the husband wants some solution for that.
Okay. No, there is some kind of obsession. Okay. The person is engaged in some Vedic mantra, etc. Ask her to do one thing at a time. If she tries to bring about a change on one thing, okay, if she tries, she's able to do it, she will understand whether it works or not. Okay.
Okay.
She may do many things. Ask her to concentrate on one thing and ask her to bring about a change. Say, for example, getting a job or getting only for that she has to work. Not on 4 or 5 channels. Only single channel you try. Okay, she will come out of it.
Okay, sir. So one thing at a time for
One thing at a time to produce a result. If she can produce a result, it's all right. But
okay.
I'm sure she cannot produce the result, and she will understand it is futile. But if she tries on half a dozen things, she will think it is going to work. But if she is asked to focus on a single thing, then she will understand it is not working.
Okay.
One of the major things in a religion is it is not within the hands of a tantric or mantravadi. It is in the hands of God. What you do is pray and keep quiet and do your work. Pray and do your work. If you don't do anything and keep on praying, no miracle will happen. Okay? You have to engage in the appropriate action. Okay? Prepare for the exam and pray God. If you go on praying God, God is not going to write the exam. But if you tell, she will not understand. So ask her to prepare for the exam and also pray.
Okay. So hope that answers Suresh Kumar your query. Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I am R.B. Rao.
R.B. Rao, yes, Dr. R.B. Rao, yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
This question is regarding, the students we have in the university, they have to appear in various exams.
Okay.
That is normal exams is okay, but I'm talking about competitive exams to get jobs, etc.
Okay.
So most of the students feel very, they sort of, don't have that much of confidence of, getting through it.
Okay.
They show some kind of anxiety. They find some deficiencies in themselves. They feel they will not be good enough to go through. And that issue comes on and off. So how to deal with that situation so that they feel confident at least to go there and appear?
Okay. Now, one of the things where the training is given by some professional organizations, what they do is they ask them to run through the mill, do it again, take the test again and again and again, then they become successful. Okay. But if they do it alone, they may not do it. So there should be a trainer who tells the person to take the test again and again. Keep them, because they are able to learn a lot. But once in a while, if they take the test, they will not progress. They have to take the test in GK or whatever, subject knowledge. Again and again, there are books available. Multiple choice items are
yes.
Ask them to read and then answer. Read and answer. Okay. If they are busy doing it, they will always top the list. What they do is, I can do it, but they don't do anything. Lack of action, lack of practice. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's a problem. If they put in effort, they will get through anything.
So it is lack of effort, which is the issue, actually.
That's it.
Yeah, that's right. If you try, you get more confidence. So that's what it is.
Yes.
What is called perseverance?
Yes,
That is what is called perseverance.
Yes, that's it. But somebody has to supervise. Some organizations conduct repeated tests, okay? And they have to pay.
There are so many coaching centers for such specialized ones for various interviews, etc.
Yes. There should be at least a mentor. If they don't go anywhere, a mentor should make them to do the exercise again and again. Whether it's the university exam or in the public exam. So they will get a feedback. Suppose there is somebody is mentoring, they will get a feedback, which they can do by themselves. But if somebody is there, it will be really helpful.
Yeah, that will create some good situation for them to try again and again. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yeah, yes,
Can I
Sita.
A 17 years old girl, she has the problem. Suppose she argues with any other person, that day what she wear a dress and what she use a soap also never use.
Okay.
That is the problem, and she believes if Tuesday starts any work, it goes wrong, like that.
Okay. Okay. So
How can deal this irrational belief without medication?
Okay. Okay. No, these are some irrational beliefs which you call as superstition. Okay. So let her try it every day. The more the trial, she will win. Because she is waiting for Tuesday or Saturday. Ask her to do it every day of the week. Okay, with some counterpart. Then she will win. She will understand. It is known as a locus of control. Internal locus of control, as we call it in psychology. She is the person controlling the outcome. External locus of control means something outside her is controlling her performance. Like Saturday or stars or something like that, or prayer. Prayer will help provided the person engages in the action. That is why in Bhagavad Gita it is said, do your role, your karma, and leave the result to me. Okay. But she wants to succeed. That is the problem. So ask her to try every day of the week. Then she will improve. It is the effort which will lead to success. Not waiting for some kind of ombudsman, etc. So they use some tithe and all that. Okay. They want to pray and all that. But effort is more important. Okay. God is willing to help, provided somebody works. Okay. Ask her to put more emphasis on the karma.
I have a practical experience.
Yes.
One student who was a very brilliant, but he lacked confidence. When the examinations came, he didn't want to attend the exam. I have forced him to sit on the scooter, took him to the examination hall. He came out with flying colors. So otherwise he wanted to miss that examination time. But once he has been forced, he was very successful.
Yes. That is true. That is where the role of the counselor comes. The counselor will give us support. It can be given by parents also, teachers also. So you have to help them because they have a self-doubt.
They lack the self-confidence, and then they start worrying, and finally they avoid the chance of going to the examination. So some people other way, they don't have enough equipped, but they go and they also come successfully. So this is the tendency among the students.
Yeah, because what is known as a vicarious learning is there. If they sit in a class, the brain automatically absorbs all the information. They may not study, but they have listened to the information from the teacher. That will work. Okay. So they think they can manage the exam. But if they can prepare also, they can manage still better. Otherwise, they will have just a passing minimum. Okay. That is known as vicarious learning. And
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Welcome, Sita.
Sir, shall we conclude, sir?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Ramadevi.
Yes, sir. So We talked about today drug addictions, but we went to off track. Okay, so some are addicted to the painkillers, or some are addicted to the drinks, or some are addicted to the smells of erasers or any other things. So the addiction starts because of the rejection by the parents or the society, and they start living in a world of fantasy, and they find it hard to face the reality. So in that case, we can involve all the family members, including the psychotherapist or the counselor, with a game of disobedience and obedience. So everyone has to be made sit in a circular form. So one person, the father will give one command which the other person should not do it. So suppose the father says clap, the father says clap, then they have to do something else other than clapping. So this command is given to the mother, and the mother has to give another command to the child, so that the child will not will not obey the what the instruction has been done. So this has to be done for 30 minutes, and again anti-clockwise, the game again has to be done 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, then after some time we can do with the game of obedience. That means the person will give the command, the other person will do it. So by doing so, the brain will learn to obey, and the more blood flows into the right brain, and it is the emotional part of the body. So that is, it learns that it is easy to obey than disobedience. So the mainly it is important to in upbringing of the children, so that they don't get involved in any addictive behaviors or and such anti-social things. Or so the parents are requested to spend more quality time to the children and fulfill their emotional needs. So in case of IAS woman and a 20-year-old MPhil, 20-year-old daughter who is doing her MPhil was misbehaving. So the mother, as being a busy officer, could not spend time. So both were made and lie on the lap of each other for some times, and then the things became all right, because the past cannot be corrected, but the present can be made fulfilled by fulfilling the emotional needs. So the other things we can do is like holding hands, oil massage, or cross hands or anything. So to avoid the smell of erasers, so we reinforce method is the best option. So to like the smell of erasers, we have to give an alternative diversional technique, like giving a bubble gum or a chocolate. So or by instead of scolding them, we can ask them to laugh, so that that dissipates the or diffuses the revengeful behavior. So for everything, the client or the person has to be creative, so that it will help in the change in the cognitions of the person. So academics and co-curricular activities, everything will help in the well behavior of the child, but they are preventive. But once they are once they are addicted to certain things, that then it has to be treated. So as in case of Reddy sir, so he was criticized first, then appreciated. It should be done the other way around. So first criticism and then appreciated. That means the golden stamp should be given first, the gray stamp should be given first, and then the rubber stamps has to be given at the golden stamp should be given at the end. So the golden stamps will have the greater impact on the brain. So to forget the trauma, so we have to make the person imagine and recollect the same thing and start laughing, so that he can either will not have an adverse impact of the situation, or the person may forgive him. So the 16-year-old boy addicted to thumbs up. So like every cool drink, some are addicted to Mountain Dew, some are addicted to Sting or Red Bull. So the first one foremost thing is to parents should spend time with them to fulfill their emotional needs, and we should never force them to stop doing that activity or taking the drinks. We have to allow them to take the drink, and followed by something which they like it, like ice cream, chocolates, or chips, which are enjoyable. So gradually they will shift to the the favorite food they are having it. So there is also one thing. So drink and all followed by physical activity. So an addicted thing followed by relaxing activity so that the body produces the happy hormones and relaxing. So because the addictives are make them more reinforcing to do and again because the brain doesn't get relaxed. So addictive substance followed by relaxing activity, just like going for a walk or doing some physical activity. So when in case of a 39-year-old female, when she finds when another person appears in her dream, another male person appears in field, she feels guilt and depressed or agitated. So it is not her doing it, it is the brain that is projecting her behavior. So when the person appears in her dreams or in her thoughts, it is better to ask her to scold or punch in the air or to start using abusive words. So counteract the aggression. So it is also better to spend more time with the husband and engage in foreplay. So 30-year-old men, when listening to something, suddenly becomes blank and feels something is missing. So, and he even doesn't get his tears. So a lamp should be kept at a 4 feet distance at the eye level and ask the person to look it for 3 minutes without winking. When the person sees it without winking, the tears will come definitely automatically roll up and he has to wipe it. In this way, he can come up with his lack of focus and concentration. This can be done with the children also who are not having the attention. So the question in the chat box, Vedic chanting or obsessions of using that mantras and all on every object. So the person has to be made to do one thing at a time to get a result, a positive result. So instead of writing on all many other things, he's just allowed to do it only. She's just allowed to do it only on one thing. So when the result won't appear, then the brain will accept that it will not do. So pray, and one has to pray and do the work instead of just praying. So students appearing in the competitive exams, they are allowed. They have to take the test again and again so that they can put the efforts properly and the learning will happen continuously and interesting. The 17-year-old girl argues with some people and the dress or the whatever the things she uses on that day, she eliminates it and thinks that some days she will win and some other days she will not. So this has to be, we have to ask her, the girl, to do this every day with some counterpart. So there are some internal locus of control and external locus of control. So this way has to be understood by the girl so that she can overcome that behavior. So this is all for today. I hope I covered it.
Yes, a good job done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. I thank you once again from the bottom of the heart and on behalf of WCOP and the participants. A very great, very many thanks to you, sir, for spending a time for us.
Very much. Good night to everybody. Professor Ganesh, sir.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, sir. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.